Hey y'all, and welcome to my channel. My name is Marissa, and I'm so glad that you clicked on this video and are going to spend some time with me in my kitchen. This meal that I am prepping right now, I prepped for my son and my daughter-in-law for their lunches for a week, and what they wanted this particular week was jalapeno chicken and rice casserole. So I'm going to just kind of walk you through what I did for this recipe. And first thing you need to do is you need to have your chicken shredded and ready to go. I am using canned chicken. I can my chicken. I find a good sale and just if you've never canned meat, well, let me say it this way: if you're a canner and you've never canned meat, that is probably one of the best things I can. It's super easy, super quick when you want to make quick meals. And even like this right here, it's very, very versatile and very easy to use. And chicken is probably my favorite meat to can. All you do is you chop it up into 1-2 inch pieces, drop it in the can. If you want to put some seasoning, I usually add salt and chicken bouillon flavor, and you don't need to put water in it or anything because it will render its own juices, and that's the juice you see coming out of the jars right there. So it's chicken broth. Anyway, I'm using my home canned chicken. You can use canned chicken, or you can use like that you get from the grocery store. If you want to if you don't have home canned and you want to go the easier, quicker route, or you can get you a couple of chicken breasts. This recipe makes a 9x13 baking dish. So you would probably need about 2 good-sized chicken breasts, and you just roast them. Or if you want, when I roast chicken, I roast it in the oven with a little bit of butter, salt, pepper, and again chicken bouillon. Or you can put it in a pot on the stove and boil it. And anyway, you want some shredded chicken. You can get a rotisserie chicken from the store and do it that way. So you've got your rotisserie or your shredded chicken, and I'm just spreading it out in the bottom of the pan. And here I am sprinkling on. I didn't measure. I just covered the top of the chicken with some instant rice. Now, here's what I will do different next time. The rice did okay this way. The juices that are in the meal will soften up your your rice. We'll cook the rice. It's instant rice, but it'll cook it. But it wasn't tender enough for my liking, so I will add a little bit more chicken broth to this dish before I bake it, just for that purpose. You don't have to, but I will because I want my rice to be a little more tender. And so then I'm just going to chop up my vegetables. I have a red bell pepper, a orange red pepper. I have some baby carrots, an onion, and some jalapeno that I am going to just chop up into bite-sized pieces, actually really fine diced pieces. And I'm layering it as I prepare it, and I will stir it up here in just a little bit.
Cold rain, making rivers on my window late last night. Cold rain, cold rain. Rain in the shadow, and my head on my window pane. Shadow, don't you bother me anymore. Don't you darken up my door. Shadow, don't you follow me anymore. Just lie and stay there on the floor. The sunshine shine on this frail head of mine. Sunshine, sunshine. You've been making shadows wherever I go. Shadow, don't you bother me anymore. Don't you darken up my door. Shadow, don't you follow me anymore. Just lie and stay there on the floor. I'd stay there on the floor. Coyotes, they've been yipping all night just like back home. Coyote.
Those diced or those sliced rings of jalapeno I'm going to save and put on top as a garnish here in just a little bit. So right now I'm just mixing this together and I'm doing it in the baking dish, saving the dish to have to wash. It's my chicken, my rice, and all my vegetables. I'm going to mix all that together, and then I'm going to make my sauce.
Laughing in the shadows and how their eyes do glow. Shadow, don't you bother me anymore.
Okay, now I'm going to get my sauce fixed here. I am using heavy cream. I put in a half a cup there. You can use, like if you've got a can of coconut milk, you can use that and just skim off the cream and use the cream on the top for this dish. I actually think that's what it originally called for, but I didn't have any canned coconut milk. So, but I did have heavy cream. So, half a cup of heavy cream. It is a half a cup of buffalo sauce, whatever your favorite is. And then a fourth of a cup of ranch dressing. And then you'll add salt, pepper, and I think you'll see here in just a minute. I can't remember, but I think it's a couple of, it calls for a couple of heads of minced garlic. So I have the kind that you buy already minced from the store, and I think I did 2 teaspoons, 2 or 3, I can't remember, but we'll see here in just a minute. And then you're just going to stir that up. If you want to, you can actually double this part of the recipe and use that instead of chicken broth for your for cooking the rice in the casserole. I don't like buffalo flavored anything, and so I don't know if that would be too much buffalo sauce or what, but that's an option too for cooking the rice. So I think, let's see how many. Okay, I add a tablespoon. It looks like a tablespoon and just one of the minced garlic. So, I mean, if you like a whole lot of the garlic flavor in any dish, you can add more. You don't even have to add it if you don't want it. So, anytime you see a recipe, I'm trying to think, unless it's like baking, you really don't have to follow it word for word. When you're cooking, that's one of the reasons why I enjoy cooking more than I do baking, because baking is very precise, and cooking you just kind of go with what you got, and you don't have to worry if you're missing an ingredient here or there, or if it calls for an ingredient that you don't care for. You can just make it your own. So anyway, I'm going to get this sauce poured over, and then I'm just going to get it all mixed in and all incorporated really well.
Don't you darken up my door, shadow. Don't you follow me Slide, stay there on the floor. Slide, stay there on the floor.
I do cover it with aluminum foil so that I can bake it covered because that helps with cooking the rice. So I bake it at 350 or 375. Oven temperatures vary, so kind of, it bakes for 45 minutes. So keep an eye on it. Um, but my son was walking through the door just as I was pulling this out. So I'm going to get it prepped up into the meal bowls for them to take for their lunches. And all I did, this makes 6 servings. And then I get it into the bowls and I drizzle a little bit of buffalo sauce, a little bit of ranch dressing, and then put a couple of slices of jalapeno on the top. And then that is their lunches for the week. In the title of this video, I said that I had a breakfast, lunch, and dinner recipes to share. And I kind of did it out of order. I'm doing the lunch first, then the dinner, and then the breakfast. But, you know, you can eat whatever you want at any time of the day. It's really okay. But this is dinner. And actually, this could be a breakfast if you wanted it to be a breakfast. But we're having it for dinner. And it is ham and potato casserole. Super simple, super easy. I take my hash brown casserole and just add diced up meat. Super, super easy. I've got a couple of these ham steaks from Walmart. You get 2 in a package. I accidentally ordered 2 packages and I only wanted 1. So I had to come up with something else to do with it. So this is one of the things that I'm going to do. And I only use half. It was just me and my husband eating this, and I make it in an 8x8 baking dish. So this is half of a ham steak diced up into tiny pieces. And then I've got a little bit of olive oil heating in that pan right there. And I'm just going to get a little bit of brown chunks on the ham. I personally, like, some people can take ham like this, put it on a salad and eat it. I don't like that. I want it to be cooked. It has to have a little bit of a char on it for me. Even though I'm baking it in the oven, I just like that char on it. So I'm going to put it into this pan, and I've already got it warming, and um, just, get some brown bits on it. Be careful though, because this started popping like popcorn and it was popping out everywhere. And so I'm here in a minute. You're going to see me add a stick of butter or margarine, whichever you want or have on hand. I'm going to add that to the ham because the recipe calls for melted butter. So I'm just melting it in with the ham. It also helps to brown up the ham. So, and then you will need a 20-ounce bag of hash browns, frozen. Well, actually, these were refrigerated. You don't have to freeze these, but if it's frozen, that's okay too. But I use a 20-ounce bag of hash browns, shredded hash browns, 8 ounces of sour cream, 10-ounce can of cream of chicken soup, 1 stick of butter melted, which I'm going to melt in the ham here in just a minute, and then just a handful of shredded cheddar cheese. You can use any kind of cheese you want. I was thinking the other day, the hash brown recipe that I have would be really good with pepper jack cheese or a mix of pepper jack and cheddar. I'm going to have to try that sometime. And then you do a little bit of salt and pepper. If you want to add some onion to it, help yourself. I didn't. Look, you see it's popping like popcorn. Anyway, you get all of that. You get your ham done and your butter melted. You get everything and you mix it together and you put it in the 8x8 baking dish. So you're going to get that all spread out on your pan. I have my oven preheated to 350 and you're going to bake it for 30 minutes and it'll come out bubbly and a little brown on top. And what we like to do, one of two things. Oops, sorry about the text message. I actually enjoy a Ritz cracker topping, melted butter and Ritz crackers crumbled up and put it on top. But my family prefers the French's fried onions or the Great Value fried onions on the top. And that's really good too. And that's kind of why I don't add onion to the dish itself, because I like onion flavor, but I'm not a fan of biting into an onion. So, yeah. Anyway, this comes out ooey gooey and cheesy, and it's really, really good. My husband really liked it. One of my other ways that I like to eat this is smoked sausage. You fry it up, get some brown bits on it. But not everyone in my family, my husband especially, are fans of smoked sausage. So that's why I did the ham, and he actually really enjoyed it. So, yeah. So now I am moving on to the breakfast. I'm doing buttermilk blueberry bars. I think it might be buttermilk blueberry buttermilk breakfast bars. I don't know, but I'm getting my ingredients here together, and I have my granddaughter with me on this day, so she was crawling around my feet and eventually wanted to be up with Grandma while she was making it. So you want to take a half a cup of softened butter, one stick of butter, and I think it's 3/4 of a cup of sugar, and you want to cream those two together. And then you're going to, after those get good and creamed up together, you're going to add 1 egg, get that mixed in, add a teaspoon of vanilla, get that mixed in, and then the recipe says to mix your dry ingredients together and then alternate your dry ingredients and buttermilk to the dish. I had my hands full with an 11-month-old, my precious little grandbaby, so I just did it how I did it, and it was just fine. Again, this is baking, not my favorite thing to do. And even though when you're baking, you need to follow the directions to the T, I didn't, and it still turned out okay. So mix all of this together, and then your flour dry mix is 2 cups of flour. Let's see, I have to think. 2 cups of flour, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of baking powder, and then a half a cup of buttermilk. I almost forgot the main ingredient, the star of the dish. You want to take a cup of blueberries. These blueberries I needed to get used up, needed to do something with them. So this is why I chose to make these breakfast bars. It's a cup of fresh blueberries that I am dusting basically in some flour so that when I add it to the dish, to the mix, it will when it's baking, they won't all drop to the bottom. I'll get it out here in just a second. So my batter is done, and I'm just going to fold in the blueberries. And then I put it in an 8x8 baking dish, and I bake it for 35 minutes. Bake it at 350 for 35 minutes, and you'll see when this comes out, it's just gorgeous. And I do sprinkle a little bit of sugar over the top. Kind of gives it a crunchy top. Not kind of, it does give it a crunchy top. And this was very good too. So I just want to thank you guys for hanging out with me again for a little while in my kitchen. I really do appreciate you guys watching. I would love for you guys to comment. I'm not getting a lot of comments, and that's okay. If you don't want to comment, that's fine. I would just really like to get to know my viewers a little more, a little better. So if you've made it to the end, give me a hi in the comment section. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe and hit the bell notification so that you will know when I upload videos. And I really appreciate you all for watching and sticking to the end. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.